All right, death and taxes, those are about the only two things in life that are guaranteed. I can assure you there. And I pay my fair share of taxes, in property taxes, and every year I get the statement, and I don't like it. However, like Ishmael mentioned earlier, our tax rate was flat. Our school tax rate was flat up until after the bond election. Now, what we've got to do is we've got to sit there and we've got to take a look. Okay, our taxes are going up because of the bond that we passed, and we as a community decided, hey, I know we're going to have to pay a little more, but it's an investment. It's an investment for our future, for not just for the kids, not just for the teachers and the personnel, but it's an investment for the community. What we've got now is we've got the opportunity to put something attractive, and unfortunately, books are judged by their cover. And when they pass by our 123 high school, now we're gonna put a healthy, good-looking, flashy, with some bling book cover out there for people to see. And guys, like it or not, we're in a position where we can afford for our taxes to go up a little. Now, I can't sit here without getting into the books, and with my finance background, I think I'll bring that aspect to the board. So I'll bring an element with my finance background to look, and like Mr. Lofton said, hey, we'll see what we need to trim. But on the same token, make sure that our salaries for our staff, for the good teachers, for retaining teachers, is competitive with the area. That's something that apparently needs to be addressed. So we'll definitely take a look at that. Thank you.
David Geddick from District 4.
Well, the question of reducing taxes is a huge question. If you look at our performance report, our state report, there's an inequity in tax across the state, and you know that through the Robin Hood plan. Actually, in Seguin, there is $600 less spent on our students per student than the state average. And it also, we as taxpayers spend $300 more per student than other school districts across on the average have to raise for that same dollar amount on the kids. So there's an inequity. A penny on the tax rate here generates $50,000. A penny on the tax rate at Northeast ISD generates $5 to $10 million. So you see the disparity. Okay, so that's the problem. But what do you end? I think zero-based budgeting in the schools. You set down a budget and you say to people, tell me what you need to operate and just the dollars that you need to spend. Return dollars that you don't spend. That works pretty well. I've done it myself. Also, I think you have to understand too, our biggest expenditure in the Seguin ISD is salaries. That probably takes 80% of that budget, and so the rest is pared down. You don't have that much extra to spend. But the point is, if a problem comes up, we don't just start out solving it by throwing dollars at it. You study the problem, you look for solutions. Sometimes it doesn't take dollars to solve a problem, so sometimes it takes motivation and a different way to think outside the box to solve a problem. So I think you have to be mindful of different approaches to solve problems too. And I think I'm over time.
Just a little. John Holt, District 4.
I'm going to stay seated because he's standing on the court. Taxes are always a sticky area to discuss. Nobody wants to see their taxes go up, but I think with what we're facing here as a community, we're going to have to invest money. But the goal is going to be is to invest as little as we can to get the maximum output, maximum return. Thank you. Return on an investment. And to do that, we're going to have to be very frugal with what we spend it on, and we're going to have to watch. Is it something that we really want to spend it on, or is it something that maybe we can wait till later? But if it concerns the kids and educating the kids, it's money well spent as far as I'm concerned. So, I mean, if I have to pay an extra $500 a year in taxes, $1,000 a year in taxes so that our kids are educated, I'm willing to make that investment, and I think this community should be as well.
Ann Laird, District 4. Here you go. I will give you this one, and then we'll work on that.
I think as board members, it is a job to make sure that the funds that the public have given to the board and to the district through their taxes is spent wisely. I think it's a due diligence thing. Obviously, we are going to be spending money on the new high school and other improvements like technology that the district needs. But I think that we just need to make sure that we're getting the best value for our dollar. That will require some research, and as my family would tell you, I do this at home. I look for, the best washing machine or the best car for the least amount of money. I'm not saying that we should be cheap and buy the cheapest thing, because then you might have to replace it again in a year and spend more money. But we need to do our due diligence and research and try to spend the taxpayers' money in the best way possible.